If you're living with diabetes, chances are someone has already told you to stay away from fruit. Maybe it was a family member, maybe a coworker who read something online. Maybe it was you standing in the produce aisle at the grocery store, holding a bunch of bananas and quietly putting them back. I want to tell you something today that could completely change the way you approach food this week. Fruit is almost never the real problem. The problem is that nobody ever sat down with you and explained which fruits to choose, how much to eat, and, this is the part almost everyone overlooks, when to eat them. So stay with me for the next few minutes. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which fruits deserve a little more caution, which ones you can enjoy without that feeling of guilt, and 4 simple rules that can change the way your body responds to every single one of them. Before we get started, I want to ask you for one simple favor. If this channel has helped you better understand how to live with this condition, hit the subscribe button and leave a like. It only takes 2 seconds, and it truly helps this video reach someone else who might be standing in that same grocery store aisle right now, feeling guilty because of an apple. All right, let's talk about fruit. Here's something I've noticed after years of listening to people who are going through the same situation you are. Almost nobody is confused about cake. You already know how you feel about cake. But fruit is different. Fruit is where the guilt begins, because your entire life, you were told fruit was healthy, and then you were diagnosed with diabetes, and suddenly, someone comes along saying it's just sugar. So now, the food that once seemed like the healthiest thing in your kitchen starts to feel like a trap. Let me clear this up. Yes, fruit contains sugar, but the sugar inside a whole piece of fruit does not enter your bloodstream the same way sugar from a soda does. It comes with fiber, it comes with water, it comes with volume, which means your body feels satisfied before you have the chance to overdo it. That natural packaging makes all the difference. Remove that packaging, and the same fruit starts behaving more like a sweet treat. Keep that packaging, and it remains a real food. So the question was never, fruit or no fruit? The real questions are only 2. How quickly will this raise my blood sugar? And how much am I actually eating? Keep those 2 questions in mind, because everything we're going to talk about from this point forward comes back to them. Fruits that require more attention. Let's start with the ones that deserve a little more awareness. And I want to make something very clear about the word I'm using, awareness. It does not mean forbidden. It does not mean banned. There is no list of foods you'll never be allowed to touch again for the rest of your life. Fruit juice, any kind of juice, even the expensive one that says 100% natural, no added sugar. Here's something almost nobody tells you. To fill 1 glass of orange juice, you usually need 4 or 5 oranges. You probably would never sit down and eat 5 oranges in one sitting, but you can drink all of that in about 90 seconds, with all the fiber removed. That creates one of the fastest blood sugar spikes we've talked about in this entire video. Dried fruits. Dried fruit. Dates, raisins, dried figs, dried mango. It's the same fruit, but with the water removed and the sugar concentrated into something about the size of your thumb. A small handful of raisins contains much more sugar than most people realize. If you enjoy them, treat them like a topping or an addition. Add a few to your oatmeal. For example, don't leave a big bowl of them sitting on the counter where you can mindlessly keep eating them without even noticing. Very ripe bananas. The level of ripeness matters more than most people realize. A banana with brown spots has already converted a large amount of its starch into simple sugar. That same banana, when it's still a little greener, tends to have a gentler effect on your body. So if you enjoy bananas, buy them a little firmer and eat them before they become overly ripe. Mangoes and pineapples. Mangoes and pineapples. Both are amazing, but they are also more concentrated fruits and very easy to overeat because they don't create the same feeling of fullness that something like an apple does. A few slices are one thing. Eating half a mango while standing in front of the kitchen sink is something completely different. Kumain grapes. Not because they're bad, but because of the way we usually eat them. Nobody eats just 7 grapes. You put a bowl on your lap while watching a movie, and before you realize it, the entire thing is gone. If grapes are your weakness, serve yourself a portion first and put the rest away. Watermelon. This is a fruit that a lot of people misunderstand, so I want to be fair about it. Watermelon really can raise blood sugar quickly, but a normal serving is made up mostly of water, so a cup of watermelon on a hot afternoon usually isn't a problem. The problem is that nobody eats just 1 cup of watermelon. It's a summer fruit, and it simply disappears when it's sitting on the plate. Notice what all 6 of these fruits have in common. None of them are poison. Every single one depends on 2 things: the way you eat it and the amount you eat. The 4 rules that change everything. You can memorize every list I just gave you and still not get the results you're looking for, because the transformation doesn't happen in the lists. It happens through these 4 habits. Rule number 1, whole, never liquid. Chew your fruit. Don't drink it. No juice. No blending it into a smoothie that you finish in 2 minutes. The act of chewing is part of the benefit. Rule number 2, never eat fruit alone. This is something I wish someone had explained to me sooner. Fruit by itself, especially on an empty stomach, can raise blood sugar more quickly. But that same fruit combined with a handful of almonds, a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt, a slice of cheese, or a little peanut butter can slow down the entire process. Apple with walnuts, berries with yogurt. It doesn't have to be complicated. And the difference is real. Rule number 3, 1 portion at a time. Spread throughout the day. 1 piece of fruit, or about 1 cupped handful of fruit. Then wait. 2 servings of fruit at 3 different times throughout the day is a completely different experience for your body than eating everything at once after dinner. Rule number 4, after a meal, not instead of a meal eating fruit as a dessert. Right after a meal that includes protein and vegetables usually has a much gentler impact than eating fruit by itself at 4 in the afternoon, when your energy is already low and you're extremely hungry. 4 rules. None of them require money. None of them require an app. And none of them depend on a level of willpower that you may not always have. I want to finish by leaving you with one message. Diabetes already takes away many things from people, but it shouldn't take away the strawberries from your granddaughter's birthday party. It shouldn't turn a summer peach into something that makes you feel guilty. Fruit is not the enemy. Lack of information is the enemy. And now you have far fewer doubts than you did 8 minutes ago. So enjoy some fruit this week, whole, in a balanced amount, with a little protein alongside it, and pay attention to how you feel. If this video helped you today, subscribe to the channel. That's how you stay connected with the next videos, because I have many more coming. Hit the like button so this video can reach someone else who needs to hear this message too. And leave a comment. What fruit have you been avoiding? I read every single comment. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.